Yes. Angie's like, darn it, I just missed them.
Okay, so you guys, I am so glad that people are thinking about their quiz and have their little verb sheets out. But I'm going to keep you in suspense for about 10 or 15 more minutes because I want to talk to you about keyword outlining. And what we're going to do is, as soon as I teach this part, I'm going to give you the quiz. You can take it, and people will finish at different times. You can grab a computer and you can start keyword outlining. How many?
They need 5, but I can do it.
No, I think you can do that. I think you can do that. I've got 10, I've got 16, and I've got 22 computers.
Okay.
17. Yeah.
Need it.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want you guys to do, can you guys just like look up here without anything on your desk? Can you do that? Okay, you can focus on what's on the screen. So I want to talk about, today we're going to transition and start doing keyword outlines. And this is going to be a little bit different. So I have dropped in your Google Classroom a template. And it looks, does this look familiar?
Yes.
Okay, so I went in and I changed it, but this is going to be the shell for your keyword outline. Okay, so you're going to go in, we're not doing intro right now, we're going to do our body paragraphs. So you're going to do a topic sentence on challenges, a topic sentence on accomplishments. Let's see if I can do this. And then you're going to do a topic sentence on legacy. And then you're going to start outlining. Now here's what I want to say to you all. Not everybody is going to have Roman A, 1, 2, 3 subpoints. Like you may have A through F and no subpoints, or you may have 2 subpoints under every one, okay? But you're going to have subpoints. Does that make sense? Is everybody clear on the outlining format? That you use Roman numerals, then capital letters, then English numbers, and then what would come next?
Lowercase?
Lowercase. Everybody's clear on that. And you do this crazy combination of indenting. So you're going to have this, and that's going to be what you use. Now what I want to show you though is I already did an outline. And I actually dropped this in your Google Classroom also. So, you guys are so calm today, thank you. So here's what I want to show you. You know that your very first paragraph in the body is going to be about challenges. So this is kind of topic sentence for first body paragraph. And what I've done is I've given you 3 different examples. So if you wanted to be very primitive, very 6th grader-ish, you could say, Laura Ingalls Wilder's overcame many challenges. Okay? That would be fine. But you could also be a little more specific. Laura Ingalls Wilder's early life was filled with numerous difficulties. So you could use a different word. Or you could actually name if there was one single challenge that really made this person's life difficult, you could name it. So I said Laura Ingalls Wilder overcame the poverty of her early years. Do you guys see how you could do it different ways? But it has to talk about challenges, and you may use a synonym for challenges, but something, name your American figure and allude to challenges, obstacles, difficulties. Does that make sense? Andrew.
So what is this like the KWO or?
This is the KWO.
Oh, it is.
But your topic sentences are going to be complete sentences. Okay? So then you're going to flip your subpoints. Oh gosh. Let's try this. Your subpoints are going to be keyword outline. Now, I haven't made a really big deal about this to you all, but it's a big deal now. And it's a big deal in order to avoid plagiarism because this is very foundational to what we're going to do with mini thesis. So you're using keywords and phrases, no complete sentences except for your topic sentence. So I say she's got challenges. So does anybody know what FX stands for?
Facts.
Family. Okay? Makes sense to me. I know it. Your abbreviations need to make sense to you. So I say she has family hard times. And what I want you to do is I want you to tie this to a source. So you know how you labeled S1, S2, S3? Everything I have under here is S1. That's all from that source. Okay, and then I just keywords, Minnesota crops locust plague. Now the test of a good keyword outline is you could make it a complete sentence. I could say, in Minnesota, her parents' crops were destroyed by a locust plague. So you need to be able to put it together in a sentence. Brother Freddie, died at 9 months. Sister Mary, fever, and there's my little abbreviation, led to blindness. I couldn't do an arrow up, but increased responsibilities for Laura. South Dakota blizzard led to starvation. Okay? So what I did is I took these challenges and I grouped them into her family growing up. And then I went to her marriage because her marriage was really hard. So marriage hard times. Hail destroyed their wheat crop. Their barn and house was burned to the ground. Her husband Almanzo got diphtheria and was partially paralyzed for the rest of his life. Her son died at 2 weeks old. And in 1929, they lost all of their life savings.
Who is this?
Laura Ingalls Wilder, who wrote Little House on the Prairie, Little House in the Big Woods. Did anybody read this? I made my
Read
boys
some of
read
them.
these books. And they will tell you, if push comes to shove, they really liked them. But, so this was life, like in the late 1800s. And then she had one more challenge. She becomes a famous writer, and she had writing challenges. So, this is from my third source, S3. Her first book, Pioneer Girl, was rejected. She received criticism from her editors. So she has lots of challenges. Now, you may be doing a character that doesn't have that many challenges. You may have an A, B, C, no subpoints, and that's fine. Okay, but I want to see that you have given enough information that you could write a paper. Okay, questions about that? Absence.
You have to label what source it comes from every time, every line.
So, great question. What I want you to do, go this way, is these A, B, C, I want you to put the source there. So it's understood everything under here is from S1. It's understood everything under here is from S1, except this one is S3, so I changed it there. Okay? So your major points, you're gonna put what source it is from. Okay, somebody else have a question? Okay, so real quickly, let me just pull this up a little bit further. So that's Roman numeral 1. Do you notice that this is double spaced? And it's Times New Roman? So you need to keep that MLA format. Let's see, can you see? So then I've got Roman numeral 3, my next body paragraph. So accomplishments. Laura Ingalls Wilder's life was marked by a multitude of accomplishments. Notice I did not say a lot. Her love of learning and writing led Laura Ingalls Wilder to become a noteworthy author. So here I use the word accomplishment. The ones in red are your basic, out-of-the-can topic sentence, and I have no problem with that. But I want you to see blue and green that you could actually be more specific. Here I list her accomplishments. Laura Ingalls Wilder became an influential teacher, writer, and author. And then my paragraph is going to be like that. And if you'll notice here, I don't have any subpoints. On this part of the outline, okay. I don't have subpoints. I just have A, B, C. So when I was, I do have some subpoints. When I was doing this, it occurred to me, I don't know if I want to say, well, up here you can't see A. Her first teaching job was at the Bushi School in South Dakota. I don't know if I want that for my paper. And you might have some information like that where you're like, do I want to include this? If you're not sure, put it in. Okay? So these are just listing things. She was a writer for the Missouri Ruralist. She published her first book. I didn't want to write Little House in the Big Woods, so I did my own abbreviation. She published 7 more books by 1943. She bought a 200-acre farm. And then this, do I need this? Do I need to say that she and her husband built their own farmhouse and raised livestock and did farm tours? Is that really as big of an accomplishment as writing? No. Okay? But maybe you don't have that much about your American. So I wanted you to see you could go into like little detail, or you could just hit the big points. And then I just like this. She wrote Pioneer Girl on 6 Big Chief tablets. Do you guys know what a Big Chief tablet is?
No.
It's so fascinating. It's maybe you've seen like writing tablets that have the really wide lines and they've got, did you ever have to use those?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
like,
like
that's how, like,
practice
I'm gonna
person.
practice,
When we
like,
first
my
Yes,
elementary
the
school.
practice
Oh.
person. But it used to be that you bought, I think this was like in the 60s. I remember really early in my elementary school that you would have these Big Chief notebooks and you would bring your own notebook. We didn't have spiral notebooks. We didn't have loose leaf notebook paper. You brought your own Big Chief tablet and you wrote on it. So that's what she did. She wrote it with two number 2 pencils on these 6 writing tablets, which just, I think is fascinating. And so I put some details. It was written during the Depression, started after Mary died, encouraged by her daughter. So this one is shorter than the first one. Some parts of your paper are going to be shorter than the other. Probably for all of us, the legacy is going to be the shortest of all. And I really want to show you this part because legacy will be hard. Okay, so here's the Roman numeral 4 topic sentence. Here's your basic one. Laura Ingalls Wilder's left a significant legacy in the U.S. Okay, just very basic. Everybody could take that and use it. Or I could define it. Laura Ingalls Wilder's left a literary legacy through the books she wrote. Or Laura Ingalls Wilder's educated her readers about life on the American frontier in the late 19th century. I don't even use the word legacy, but that's her legacy. Now, here's the tricky part. Accomplishments are going to affect the legacy, but not every accomplishment is a legacy. So her buying a farm and doing her own chores is not the legacy people remember. People remember her for her books because they made the frontier personal to kids. You know, we learned about what it was like to see a cloud of locusts shimmering in the distance that comes and is full of grasshoppers that destroy your crops. She taught history events, survival skills. She talked about Indian territory, what it was like to see Indians ride through the front of your property on horses. She talked about the frontier and building the railroad. And then, okay, so notice how short this is. Part of her legacy, and legacies can come after you die, the American Library Association created a Laura Ingalls Wilder's Award for lasting achievement in children's literature. So that's part of the legacy. Every year this award is given out. Until I believe 2 years ago, they stopped giving it out. Do you know why?
Because nobody really writes anything anymore.
No, because when she wrote Little House on the Prairie, she referred to Indians as Injuns.
Oh, you can't do
And
that now.
that was not acceptable. So they took this award away. But there are lots of children's books nonetheless that have received this award.
What do you mean engine?
Injun.
What's that?
It's like this. It's a slang for Indians. There were words like red face, Injun. It's considered disrespectful to Indians. And you guys don't know this. I grew up in Oklahoma where Indians, like, they're all over the place. And that was like our main, quote, minority. And you had to, people were very discriminatory towards Indians. So, but now we are much more aware and sensitive. And so she wrote this from the perspective of an 8-year-old, but that's why she was criticized. Okay, her homes have become National Historic Landmarks. It's on my bucket list to visit them all. Okay, and her books inspired Little House on the Prairie TV series. So lots of people have seen that. So notice I don't have a whole lot under legacy. Legacy will be the shortest part, but it's really important. Okay, questions. So you guys think you can do this? This is what you're gonna work on in class today and on Monday and Tuesday, and this part will be due on Wednesday. Now, the reason I'm giving you so much time, you may be looking at this going, this is no big deal. Having a good keyword outline will make the writing of your paper so much easier. So, and this is, I've got a rubric. You're gonna get, I think it's 25 points for your outline. Okay? Okay, any questions about this? Okay,